All right. Man, now recording. Sorry for we had to take a little intermission dealing with technical difficulties. So this is part two. We got two-parter video. My first two-parter video. Let's go.
Oh crap! And it's lucky because it's with me, Flipiester. How you doing, people?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't believe my manners. I am so stupid. I guess. Well, I will fix this in future videos. But introduce the people who you are.
Hey everybody, my name is Flipister. What is going up? I do Let's Plays and I casually make animations on YouTube.
This guy here who chooses to conceal his identity, he's very much in his right to do so. But I do know this guy. He's not just a random stranger. We met. I'm gonna give him just a little bit of background, nothing too specific. But we did meet. We do work together. Been working together for about what 6 years now, seven.
Uh, I mean, yeah,
2020,
actually, no, no, yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, no, wait, isn't that like 8 years now?
2019 was when we met.
Oh, okay, no, 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 yeah, 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 about seven.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, almost 7 years. Uh,
Well, what are you
yeah, we
talking about? I've always been a stick figure.
yeah, minus the blonde hair.
Yeah, no, no, no. This is because of my new upcoming series. I'm playing and 100%ing all of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, so this guy here, me and him, honestly, we kind of clicked like the first what two times we drilled together,
Oh
and
yeah,
I think it was because of Donaldson too, because if it wasn't for him, I don't think we would have. I think we still probably would have chatted with each other, got a close
yeah,
book
but
each other.
it would have been slow. When I first came by, I was kind of meek, and I was like, let me just blow through this whole thing and not really do anything.
Right, right.
All
I
of a
mean,
sudden,
yeah, I was the same way because it was just crazy. Again, I was the new kid on the block, anyways.
hmm
At the time. So I was trying to figure out how you were trying to be all meek and stuff. But this guy, I'm telling you guys right here, if you ever meet him in real life, he's a real genuine person. He's awesome, very talented, definitely a hustler. He's this guy's just amazing and incredible. So I do thank you for just to and guess and this was just last minute stuff. I just called you like, hey, yeah, you want to be part of a video? So, yeah, sure.
and I said when, where, and now. Okay, let's do it.
But no, yeah, actually, you just had to work the rest of the week. So I was like, okay, we can do it today. I literally had nothing to do.
Yeah, I got screwed over with school, but I kind of
Yeah,
just need a break from everything.
I get it. So look, in my current situation right now, I literally have a lot of free time because I'm currently out looking for a job. So I literally got all the free time in the world. So that's why I asked you. When I've always asked everybody like, when can they do it? Anytime works for me.
Hey, YouTube, make this guy big,
Appreciate. I'd really appreciate it. But
dude.
so yeah, where did we where we leave off?
uh,
Oh,
shoot, we
oh,
were talking about hero movies, which kind of just reminded me here on if you don't mind me adding into something new right here.
no.
Um, so we've hit a resurgence with DC and Marvel. We've hit some highs and lows with DC and Marvel. But in my personal opinion, I want to see the newcomers coming up to the block. And it's pretty convenient considering the game that I'm playing right now. The Legend of Zelda movie piqued my interest right there
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
because
coming up.
I'm looking at that like, no, yeah, that's definitely something up my alley because I mean, I'm not gonna say I was the biggest Lord of the Ring Hobbit fan, but definitely like old timey medieval movies. Say like I looked at Monty Python, a Quest for the Holy Grail, kind of old school medieval.
Oh
And
yeah,
and my personal opinion, I'm trying to ask you is, what do you have any opinions on it? Because there's some things that we don't really know about. For instance, the lead actor who's going to be playing Link is his name is Benjamin Evan Answorth, I believe.
Hmm.
British actor. How are they gonna play a deaf not a deaf, a mute child in this universe?
So I am not the I'm not the subject matter expert when it comes to Legend of Zelda because unfortunately I have never played any of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And but the I mean because the closest thing that I can relate to is just that the main character is Link, and that's actually the second time someone reminded me that Link is mute, doesn't speak. I literally keep forgetting that, which which honestly is like it makes sense because I've never seen any type of video, any type of gameplay where he talks. I'm gonna say, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that my girlfriend is definitely gonna drag me to that movie to watch.
Dude, if she doesn't, I will. I'll drag you to that fucking movie because like I know I'm considered like a huge Sonic fan on the
Uh,
on the platform on the whole YouTube. But my first and most favoriteest game is The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. And the peak reason for it is, well, like I said in the last video, the same way is cuz the same way how people really like The Dark Knight. It's that
mhm.
grotesque gothic style of filming. Just shadows, overhangs, the thing that makes the hero look massive, Or at least
Right.
the dark creature in the dark look massive. I that
Hmm.
that kind of cinematography just fits so well with my aesthetic on how I viewed the world at that point. I mean, nowadays I'm
Oh,
like,
mhm.
let's watch some kids show because now I want to go back to my roots. But
Yeah, so I can't answer that question from a person who played Legend of Zelda, but I can answer that to the best of my ability from just a person who's played video games and seeing that being transformed into a movie onto the big screen.
Mhm.
Um, I did. I think I saw a sneak peek trailer for it, and it looked decent.
there
And
there
even though,
there was here's and there's on like what the sneak peeks are. Some of them have been considered false because nothing's really come out for this one movie yet. Just clips.
really,
Yeah.
um, well, I'll probably have to watch again. Like it was just the one that I watched, even though, but then I couldn't bring myself to figure out if it was real or not because I just didn't follow the franchise. And again, I'm not gonna pretend to be an expert on something that I'm not because that's gonna make me look stupid. So, but I will say this, at least from what I saw, if it is real, I can't recall what it is, but if it is real, it looked pretty decent. Uh, I do hope for the most part that it's it's accurate and it makes sense, and I pray that it follows a single storyline instead of trying. I mean, how I'm pretty sure it says yes or no. Like there is a story to Zelda, though, right?
Hmm.
Are there multiple storylines or is this a single continuing story?
Okay, so we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. If you want to go down this path, you're allowed to tell me no, don't go down this path. But it is a bit more. It's very complicated. Okay, because
Okay,
the
so
timeline the
so
timeline is just it's all over the place, but it does go in a straight line somewhat.
so it okay. So let me see if I can simplify this. So it does continue in a straight line, but it just jumps through different points in time.
No, because it splits in the middle and then it recombobulates back
Oh,
together. Because
oh,
Nintendo is smoking crack after the DS, and I don't really need to explain it to people who know Nintendo, but yeah, because
Mhm.
it just goes off the rails as soon as Ocarina of Time comes by. But from what it looks like that the movie is going to be a standardized story, kind of the same way how the Mario movie was standardized.
Right,
It
right.
brought in a bunch of different games into one, and it's a movie for the fans. Kind of like the same way we've been talking about,
Right.
like how Superman, at least 2025 Superman, is a Superman for the fans more than it is for like newcomers coming in who are like, where's the action? Where's the neck snaps? Because this guy wants to melt down humans with his eyeball lasers.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get over that scene.
Dude, that scene was goaded. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, it's
Him,
because if you,
him beaten, that
yeah,
made that scene way worth more while.
I'll agree with you, but the only problem is I finished watching the angry video game nerd, right?
Say again?
The angry video game nerd.
Yeah, I do.
So he made a re-review over Superman 64,
Hmm.
and he mocked that scene by having the N64 the game in the N64 shoot lasers at good video games. So so the nerd goes and snaps the N64's neck. I can't look at that scene anymore the same way because he kind of just ruined it, but in like the best way possible.
Oh, that's fine. I get
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
understand. And no, that scene was just
Though,
yeah.
yeah, that scene peaked. That scene spoke volumes. I agree
I,
with that.
oh yeah, for sure. I always type in every now and then. I still do to this day. I still type in Superman versus the Raptors just to catch that scene, even though it's available for me just to watch on HBO Max. I can watch the whole movie. No, I just want this scene. I type it up on YouTube and I get it. The music was really nice as well. I was like, man. I was like, if he, I was like, I wish he would have used his free breath, at least his cold breath or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
um, on something or someone during that part. But it was still really good. Yeah, I loved it.
No, agreed. Oh, I got a bit of a small thing here to just add in here.
Uh,
So I started going on a thrifting spree, going to thrift stores everywhere, Goodwills and whatnots, and I'm trying to find as many copies of the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I'm just buying them. I have no use for multiple copies. I'm just buying them all. I don't care. I'm gonna fill up a bookshelf. But I got lucky and I found an original VHS box of Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man.
really?
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's the original box. It's the one that was sold in Blockbusters, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I open it up and it's the TV show. It's this fucking TV show in
Oh,
there. Luckily, I already have a Spider-Man VHS without the box, so I can just put that in here. And now I have Spider-Man, the TV show, Return of the Green Goblin, and an original Spider-Man box. My collection, though, it is not complete. I only have looks like I only have one original Spider-Man and like three of them widescreen, which are terrible. But
yeah.
sorry, just
Wait,
just
wait.
adding in a bit of flair. What'd you say?
I mean, like you saying like like terrible as in they don't work or what?
Widescreen is the worst way to watch a movie back in the day.
Oh, back then, yeah.
Yeah, no, it never worked out for me unless I'm getting the resolutions wrong because I used to play a bunch of movies on my PlayStation 2, and that was the
Mm-hmm.
way I would watch things, and it would always look
Same.
weird.
Oh, same. When we didn't have a DVD player, one of my older brothers, had dug up our old PS2, and
Yeah.
we watched DVDs on that thing when we didn't have a DVD player or when we didn't have Wi-Fi. Oh man, that was insane. I mean,
But
I guess sometimes it does depend on the TV that you got as well for widescreen to work.
oh
And
no, yeah.
I found myself with it not working as much when I had back when I still had a box TV.
I mean, when you had those DVDs just sitting in a on a bookshelf or sitting in like a little cubby, they degrade way faster than if you were to have them in like for instance, my office is always temperature and humid stable
Hmm.
because I don't need anything in here to to break. I got a lot of expensive equipment. I'll show you later after the video. After the video,
Oh, sure.
yeah. But you know, like I got things in here that are from the 70s and even further back than that. I can't have that shit, breaking apart because these old media formats deteriorate way too quickly. It's kind of disappointing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's insane. Uh, let's see. Let's try to
Side
move.
tangent over. Let's go back into it.
Yeah, yeah. So like, do you is there a certain is there a certain brand between that you kind of favored between Marvel and DC, or is there some type of third party when it comes to superheroes? Is there some type, or is there like some type of third party that outside of Marvel and DC that you just favorite towards you personally?
Personally, I have always been the DC fan.
Hmm.
Like, okay,
Hmm.
I grew up absolutely loving Spider-Man, but back then I never really associated it with being a Marvel brand
Right.
because Sony really, really took the reins on that one. Just like, no, 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 you ain't having that.
Huh.
So I really was a DC fan, but it wasn't because of the DC superheroes. It was because of Warner Brothers.
Right.
Because my heroes back in the day were Scooby and the Gang and the Looney Tunes show.
All
Uh,
right.
and that right there was I mean I started back in, oh my god, what was that movie? It's a really old Christmas movie. What's it called? The Polar Express.
Oh my goodness.
That was a peak movie, and
Right.
anyone who says it's bad in any way, you
I don't
just you didn't grow up with love in your heart, man.
care, dude. I when that movie when Disney released it on on television, and this is when I was living I was living in Millersville, Georgia. We were living in this little house, and the TV was in like this small little like den type area, and we all gathered around in Christmas time waiting for the premiere. It was kind of cold in there, so we had some blankets and we had made some hot chocolate.
See,
Mm-mm.
that right there speaks Christmas. That right there speaks love. And that movie was
Yeah,
just spitting love in your face the whole time.
yes. And people want to like people would just want to immediately just crap on the CGI. Dude, it was made back in 2007.
Oh,
What
no,
you
no. Sorry.
wait,
Go on ahead. Go on ahead. I got something big to say against that though.
oh, like it's like dude, it was made back in 2007. First of all, for 2007 or 2008 movie, I can't remember which year it was, but that it was good. First of all, for the CGI, it was really good
Mm-hmm.
for the year that was put out. And secondly, I don't know I really don't know what it is you could have against this movie, but go ahead.
the the thing that people tend to complain about, because I'm actually looking at the Rotten Tomato scores right here, and it's a
Uh,
55%, and I'm like, okay, sure,
the critics
55%.
or the audience?
It's loading right now. Give me a second. I got a bunch of things open on my computer. But
uh,
people complaining about the animation, first of all, do people not realize this whole movie was was mocap?
yes, it was
People were
mocap.
It was all suits. That's the reason why it didn't look good to their eyes, is because it was actual natural movements of the human body. And we're always used to like exaggerated like body movements. We're used to seeing, Spider-Man's eyes moving and him always like having his hands out when he's talking because you can't read a face. But in this one, you could read a face and you understand their body language a little less because they're just not they're moving naturally. Like
Yes.
I'm sorry. You don't like the movie because of what? The animation's bad? Did you like the story? I bet you like the story. I bet your kids like the story.
Like that's a story for both parents and children to follow. My kids are gonna watch that movie,
Yep.
whether they like it or not. That's a must. That is a must. Oh my goodness.
Oh God. Well, let me read you. Let me read you one of these critics' reviews real quick.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
As a spectacle, the Polar Express looks remarkable. As a film, however, it is equivalent of an exorbitantly wrapped Christmas present containing a nice new pair of socks.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, you're complaining about a kids movie, my guy. The plot is kids go to the North Pole through some magical train. Have you read the book, my guy?
Dude, and oh my goodness, the book. Speaking of which, we even, dude, even our teachers in elementary school would play that movie. But before we did, guess what? We read the book. And the images match the images in the movie, which is even more fun.
Let's just
Our song in the book was amazing.
nah, these people kind of they kind of look at a movie as they're trying to compare it to other movies instead of what it's trying to be. That's the same argument I keep having with other movie critics and movie reviewers that they're trying to compare any movie to say uh Avatar in IMAX or some shit like that. Like you're not gonna find any similarities. What are you trying to do? Oh, I'm sorry. But this new Spider-Man movie starring Andrew Garfield, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, is definitely not the Titanic starring fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's the kind of mess that's the kind of argument that I have with these people.
like
That it doesn't, yeah.
here's the thing too. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Going to watch a film that is, and you can. I'm pretty sure you can tell as well. You can obviously tell what genre a lot of these critics are writing. Are writing in the comments. You can tell what kind of genre that they like and what they're trying to compare it to. Sometimes, and it's not you. And most of them don't name names, but you can really tell like what genre that they're really into. I mean, why are you judging an action sci-fi movie when you really love you love horror films? Why are you judging a horror film, a horror slasher thriller type film when you like romantic comedies? What are you doing?
I it's like they look at it's like comparing two books with one another. It doesn't matter what's written down as long as it's written. As long as it can be put down into a formula, then it works in that formula. But as soon as you put it on the big screen, you have flaws to look at. But that's the thing that you want to look at. You want to look at the flaws to like ground you back into reality kind of situations. Like if we're looking at this movie compared to like what the critics have to say, compared to what the audience has to say, the critics
Mm-hmm.
are going to complain because their
Mm-hmm.
job, based on whatever company they're part of, is let me complain so people know how I feel about this because my word is basically law in the critic world. But then you look at an audience member, they're just like, oh, the nostalgia, the songs, the sound
Uh,
effects. It's a tradition every year. People are like, it's a classic. People don't look at the flaws. I mean, shit. I didn't like reading Green Eggs. What was it? What was it? Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham. I didn't like reading that book. I get that it's a classic, but I personally don't like it. I understand why people absolutely loved um what the Lorax, Horton Hears a Who, or
oh,
any other Dr. Seuss movie that was created. Like I understand
and
why people liked it. It wasn't my bread and butter, but shoot.
right. And you know what? That's actually okay. That actually is how I felt about. That's actually still to this day how I feel about Man of Steel. I understand why a lot of people like it. But after rewatching it several times and actually letting it soak in, I don't like it. But if you like it, cool, enjoy it. But can you please not just entirely crap on something that, well, first of all, you honestly have no knowledge of if you don't bother to see the movie.
Hmm.
But going back to that critic's comment about the Polar Express, I actually am one of those recipients that received socks on Christmas. I received a pair of pants on my birthday. The Polar
Lis-
Express gave me way better. The Polar Express gave me way better emotions in those two events.
let me tell you something that my wife has told me. You're in the military. You're gonna go through some socks. You're gonna get socks on Christmas.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can attest to that. I think I've like torn through, I'd
Um,
say like 12 like packets, not pairs, just 12 packets of socks.
oh, dude, what? The amount of times I had to buy socks for myself, man.
We're heavy guys. We use them real easy. They wear down way too quickly. They need a double strength on this cotton.
Dude, who are you telling, man? I'm really looking at a hole in a pair of socks that
Oh,
I bought like, a couple
I
months
got
ago.
brand new ones and I'm wearing Vans and I feel like the Vans are going to tear through these socks any minute now. But
Uh,
like you were going off on oh, excuse me. I already finished all my Ricola and now I'm burping up the Ricola.
oh,
Uh, but going kind of back to our original topic that we had last video,
right.
where we're talking about on like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Cinematic Universe, which one I was kind of peeking towards. Like I said, Warner Brothers, but it's only because of the things that I saw. Because I saw, in my opinion, I was definitely towards the European hero's tale. It's not
Mm.
like where you see anime and the hero's tale isn't there. It's like we get one overpowered dude. He falls a little bit up. He's overpowered again. You know what I mean? Like watching Dragon Ball Z, especially in the abridged series on YouTube.
Oh yes.
You just see, oh, this guy's losing. Not anymore. Oh, this guy's losing. Not anymore.
Or it's
Like
just a stronger villain this time, and he just has to get stronger.
I'm actually seeing a fan animation where this guy animates out like there was this recent video where Saitama is in the Dragon Ball universe, One Punch
Hmm.
Man, and it's Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, and Legendary Super Saiyan Broly fighting Black Frieza, and they're all losing. But Saitama comes out of nowhere, and he's just like, "Oh, guess what Goku taught me? He taught me what was the move called? Kaioken." And I'm like, oh no, that's like something he should never have. But it was funny, and it's basically how every anime kind of works out. The big bad has the upper hand. Oops, not anymore. But because I fell in love with how these stories kind of how they kind of work out, it kind of disappoints me where I see the stories kind of not be that way anymore, where it's just let me explain to you the entire history of this guy you should know about because you live in America.
I think here's the thing. I think if you want to understand, if you want people to understand the character, let them do their own research. Because because I promise you, without a doubt, because I'll say how would I describe myself? I'm an average watcher, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people out there who would be like, huh, I wonder if he's always been that powerful, or I wonder if she's always been like this, or where does like is there more of them? Wait, hold on, they're an alien. What planet did they come from? A bit if your character isn't interesting enough to the point where where your audience can't ask questions, then you're doing your character wrong.
Yep. Yep.
That's the thing. Because again, like you have okay, I'm gonna use Marvel. Marvel is like classic lineup, for example. You got you literally got a man in a robotic suit. How did he get that robotic suit? That can shoot missiles and lasers, that can fly, and gives him excuse me, a little bit of strength. Okay, you got this tiny weak meat person, but when he gets angry, he turns into this big giant rage monster. I want to know more about him. Oh, yeah, we got this this 7 foot tall blonde haired dude that's just wielding lightning with a freaking hammer. Where did he
Mm-hmm.
come from? What's
I
his
know.
name?
Yeah.
Interesting characters. If you think about it like this too, who are these normal people? How come they're not using powers? Why are they using weapons? What's their story, and how do they get how do they get to this point in their lives?
So
Even
we're basically saying, why do people keep bullying Hawkeye
like
and Black Widow because they have no powers? I mean,
and even then, that causes people to do some research.
mhm.
Make your character interesting, and then people ask questions. You don't have to. We don't have to go on this origin story I mean, if you want to tell a story from the beginning, sure, tell it from the beginning, but don't let it be someone who's already existed. I don't want to know Goku's backstory. I already know it. I don't. And I do like. I do like that they in the Superman film they do not do the whole baby sent from Krypton to Earth to do all that stuff. They kind of they literally just skated by that with using text in the beginning. We don't do the whole.
So they basically Star Wars the beginning of Superman.
Basically, yeah.
I
Superman is
prefer that method. I honestly do.
Here's the thing. Superman is already established.
Hmm.
So if you don't know the only people who should not know who Superman is, better be needs to be being born like right
Hmm.
now. So he's literally been here since what the 1930s, 1940s. It's come on, man.
Well,
It's not
I'll say this because you brought up for the new generation to watch Superman.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna say that's a really good way to interpret it because let's say we make another movie where we rewrite his whole origin story, and let's say a kid gets imprinted with this kind of mess in their head. Okay,
Hmm.
is a kid psychologically just going to think my origin is what matters the most because of the movie that they're watching? Because the media is how they're going to personify themselves, you know? Their parents are going to raise them, but the media is going to personify them on like how they want to grow up, you know? What's their interests? What's their dislikes? And let's say someone actually grows up with this 2025 Superman movie instead
Hmm.
of growing up thinking, oh, what I did back in the past when I was young is what matters. This movie basically teaches be a good person, no matter what odds you're at. And that's the kind of what's it called? That's the kind of message that it was sending is like I
Right.
said before, the Boy Scout Superman is meant to inspire young Americans to do the right thing, to do the good thing. It's not for government, it's not for politics, it is for the good of humanity. And that's absolute like how is someone going to discuss oh no Superman you can make it you can make a political thing because it's American. You can make it a race thing because he's an alien. But in all honesty, it's a humanoid person. We all can relate to it because there are struggles.
I mean, true, absolutely. I mean, I think it would, and I personally would not mind if they kept it like that. But if you want to go somewhere down the road, kind of like what they did with Marvel with Captain America Civil War, like their actions, the consequences of their actions eventually caught up to them in Civil War. Ever since the first Avengers movie, and well, actually, long before that, but I know they only showed like a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah.
They showed the damages done from the Winter Soldier, the first Avengers movie, and then obviously the one in Age of Ultron and stuff. But if you want to like, but if you do want to go down that route where you dial in and make it just a little bit more realistic, I'm like, okay, I get that, but we don't. Me personally, we don't need that right now. We definitely don't need that in the beginning. And some characters' backgrounds and experiences are gonna be different. They're gonna have a little bit more reality to them than others. Like Swamp Thing. Like he got dealt a pretty messed up hand compared to somebody like Superman or who's another lighthearted character.
I mean,
Freaking
what are you talking about? If I remember correctly, Swamp Thing and Superman are pretty close together on tragedy because Superman lost an entire planet.
true, but here's the thing though, he was a baby when he lost his planet. Uh I don't count that. I understand it. Me personally, I understand it way more from Supergirl's perspective because she was older and she actually lived on Krypton. She had a chance to experience Krypton for what it was, so I could see her doing that. As far as Superman's struggle with him being like the only, I do understand like him being the only one of his kind, but it's just the whole like I can't imagine him missing Krypton because he was a literal baby when he got sent away. I can imagine him being lonely because he's the only one that can shoot lasers out of his eyes and can.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't wanna interrupt you anymore.
Go ahead.
But I'm only gonna say this because like the reason I'm saying this Superman is a bit more say special. I'm trying. I really don't want to argue against. I'm sorry, but you remember the movie Brightburn?
Brightburn, yes, I do.
So that's what happens if you put Superman with all that trauma that has been laid down the same way as our Superman, but
Mhm.
basically gave him normal ass American parents rather than, these parents that absolutely adored this alien baby. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because Brightburn is basically that superhero complex, but without the nurturing addition,
Yeah, I've
And
seen
that's
it one. It was
and
terrible.
that's what I'm trying to say. Where that's what makes Superman just vastly better as the superhero that we need to start out with this universe. Because I mean, think about it. He could have been this grotesquely just disgusting
For sure.
villain for the
Oh, for sure.
whole movie.
I agree. Oh, yeah, I agree with you on that. Oh, for sure, 100%.
While Swamp Thing is like a mystical being of the earth that protects Gaia. Like I get that. I get that what that is. And of course, he comes from actual humanity. I understand that. I understand that it comes from if I remember correctly, do you mind giving me a rehash on like Swamp Thing's backstory?
He basically, I'm gonna have to visit Variant Comics because it's been a minute, but I do know that he was. I do remember that he was wrongfully killed, and he died in the swamp, and then he spent like a couple years in that swamp, like being resurrected. Somebody in the comments correct me if I'm wrong, but I will do my research after this, and just so I don't sound like a complete idiot. I do know he was wrongfully killed though and was like, "Yeah, humanity sucks. I'm sticking with Mother Nature." We actually got maybe 30 seconds before this meeting ends. So, is there anything else you got to say before we wrap this up?
Uh, d- uh, watch Space Jam. You caught me off guard, man. You can't be doing this to me. Watch Space Jam, best hero movie. What?
All right. Um, We get some. Oh.